So you've probably thought to yourself, I need more space, dude. I can't fit these guns. I can't fit these rigs. I just need more space. And so you've probably upgraded by now to the Edge of Darkness, the EOD version, because you need more space. Well, what if you can get that space for free using hacks, no matter what version you purchased? So some of you are going to be really excited about this who have been wanting more space, but who's going to be really excited about this are the hoarders. So let's talk about it. What's up, guys, and welcome back to the X-Villain Hideout. My name is Ghost. If you guys have never been here before, I'm super excited you guys are here. Today we're going to be going over some space hacks, how to get more space in your stash without using the hideout to upgrade and without buying the better versions to give you more stash space. How can you do it with a standard account, or in general just get more space? It doesn't even matter what level you are. It doesn't matter where you're at in the game. There is a huge amount of people that are constantly asking, like myself, how can I get more space? So I'm going to show you a few of the ways that people get more space in their stash. Now, I'm going to say this as well. I know that there's players that don't want to have more space because you only buy what you need when you need it, and that is perfectly fine. It's not very ideal for beginner players because we're saving barter items to increase the hideout, barter items for barters. We're saving things that we don't know if we need to keep or not. We're trying to keep new guns so we can try them out. So there's a lot of different things, and you haven't built up enough cash really to be able to just buy whatever you want whenever you want. And if you're not level 10, you can't even access the flea market to do that anyways. So there's a lot of people who will benefit from this, and there's a lot of people who are just not gonna need to watch this video because you're not really looking to hoard your items, and you're fine. So that's okay. Do you, boo? If you guys end up liking this video, I do put out 3 to 5 videos a week of Tarkov content. You could always follow me on YouTube and see more of that. And lastly, before we get into the video, I do stream on Twitch Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday at 6 p.m. PST. I would love to have you guys by the stream, but now let's get more space. Okay, so we're in my stash right now, and I tried to situate things. I know it looks chaotic right now, but I will explain why I have things the way that I have them. And some of these space hacks, you guys are already going to know because they're not like super intricate, but some of you are not going to know them as well. So I'm going to go over from the very basic all the way to the most complex. And then we're going to talk about how it works in raid and how it works outside of raid. So one of the things you can do is you can actually go to the hideout and you can upgrade your stash with whatever requirements are required. I have the EOD version, so I have it fully maxed out. So if you have a standard account, you're gonna look through my stash and you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, look at all that space. And that's what I thought when I upgraded, which you can always do. But either way, this is gonna help people even with this big of a stash or the standard account version of the stash. The very first thing we're gonna talk about is cases. Now, some of these cases you can actually get from completing certain quests. I'm not going to go into detail on that because I'm going to be doing a completely separate video on all the cases, what are the best cases to have, what you can do with all the cases, and what quests give you what cases for free. Other than that, you can always obviously go to search and you can filter item, and then usually it'll take you to either purchasing it, or if you don't exclude barter offers, you can find out what these actually barter for. So somebody wants magazine cases for this one. Somebody wants one ammo case for a mag case they want to trade. And then there's also different dealers that you can go down and just look. These are what you get for this case. This is what you get for this case. And a lot of these barters, I will say, are worth it. But when we get into the cases, I'll talk more about that. Anyways, so we have mag boxes that carry magazines. This is only going to carry money because it's a money case, right? We have med cases that carry meds. So there's some cases that are specific, and then there's some cases that you can stack a bunch of stuff in here. So this is one of my thick cases that just has other cases, right? So look at, I have these cases inside of this case, making it so I am having all this room saved by keeping these weapons. Now, is it necessary? Some would argue it is, some would argue it isn't. And then, you know, do you? There's a lot of people who don't want to use cases, and then there's people who argue you have to have cases. I don't think that's the case for either. I think it just depends on how you want to position your stash, what your play style is, what part of the wipe you're in is going to determine a lot of that. So we have more of these here. This is for food. What else? One of the other most useful cases that you can have, especially as a beginner, I literally recommend that all beginners aim to buy this as early as possible because you need so many items for different things in the early game, and you don't have to feel bad about constantly deleting them, and it might be something that you want to keep, is the Lucky Scav Junk Box. The Lucky Scav Junk Box, look at how much space is this, and this is literally what, a 4x4? It's a 4x4 slot giving you a ridiculous amount of space, and you can literally do whatever you want with it. There's so many different items you can put in here. Now, you can't put weapons in here, you can't put helmets and stuff like that in here. You have to use an items case for that. Or a weapons case, but there are so many items that you find in raid that you can literally put in here. So that is definitely one of my other first recommendations. Then we can go to this one, and I wanted to talk about rig stashing. So when you have rigs in your stash, you can actually fill it up with items. And a lot of these rigs are good rigs for a reason, because you get double the amount of slots. So versus this taking up 3x4, and look at how many spaces I get. So I'm getting 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So I'm getting 20 slots out of 12, right? You have rigs like the LBT, it's double the amount of space. So I'm working with a 3x3 and I'm getting double the amount of space. And then there's other rigs like the TB110 that give you a ton of space as well. And that's talking about getting double the amount of space with these rigs. But even if it takes the same amount of space, you have to think about it like this. If I have a rig here, I can't have anything else here. So even if I only get 3x4 worth of slots, it's still worth it because I'm able to put things where these rigs are. Does that make sense? So when you have ones that hold even more, it actually ends up being more worth it. So this is actually how I have mine set up. These AVSs, I don't usually run as armor. I'm just not a big fan of the AVS, but they are great for space. Because they have two 2x2s, I can store headsets and helmets and stuff in them, and then they have all of these slots on top. So I actually use these for space and making things full, and then I'll explain why I have suppressors and sights and stuff in these as well. A lot of that has to do with breaking down weapons, but I want to keep going over this real quick just to make sure we are not kind of like all over the place. So backpacks you can stack, so I'm just going to show you what it looks like. You can keep stacking them inside of each other. Now, you can't do it on your persons, but you can do it over and over and over and over and have like 50 backpacks in the slot of the biggest backpack. So Blackjack 50 being my biggest backpack. And then as I go, all the backpacks underneath. Pretty self-explanatory once you decide. And then look at all this space right here. Now, it can be annoying to constantly put stuff here because if you're constantly using the top backpacks, right? But there is space. So if you really did need it, it's there. And then, of course, the very last backpack in the stack, you can put stuff inside of that as well. The other thing that I wanted to talk about was removing things from your guns. Now, right now, I don't need that space, but a way that you can conserve space, like, I mean, you can get really nitty gritty with this. Like, let me see where it's at. Okay, so look at it. This is an HK. It's a 1-slot HK. And it's crazy to think that this is an HK, that we can fit it in one single slot, but all it is we broke it down to the lower receiver, and you can literally keep just lower receivers and keep how many lower receivers in here? I could have so many HKs in here technically, and then you have your edit presets saved, and then when you bring it into here, all you do is pop on a preset and then you build it that way. So that's one way to do it. The other way to do it is to just demag and desuppress, and then some of them it's destock. So what I mean by that is to start taking, see how most of my guns are suppressed? If I were to take suppressors off of all of these guns, which I do, that's why there's suppressors in here, right? Is to make more space. So you would literally just take this off, whatever gun it is, right? So let's just go like right here, and then we're just gonna pull this off. And then it gives you 2 more slots right here. And then there's different things you could take off, whether it's magazines, whether it's stocks. There's different things that you can do to create more space. You can fold. So any of the guns that are foldable, you can fold. Normally this would be like this, and then it would unfold like that. But then I fold it and I put it in here, and you could just middle mouse button. You can just click instead of trying to right click and fold. And so that's another way. Now, like I said, I don't need that much space, but if I did, that is an option. I know a lot of people get kind of mad at my stash. I've got multiple comments on YouTube and on Twitch of people like, take out your magazines, take off your suppressors, why aren't you folding everything? But the thing is like, if I don't need that space, there's really no reason for me to do that when I could just grab this gun and go, right? But if you do need the space, you can do that. Anyways, you can also build little weapons. So if you like little tiny M4s, you can make builds like this and save space. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so the next thing is when you are in raid. So I have this weapon right here, and I purposely added more rails, which are very cheap. They're like 1,200 rubles a piece. And so I have extra space. So if I have this weapon and I'm running this, when I pick up things, I can slap them on my gun instead of putting them in my backpack or putting them in my rig. So I can just literally go like this. All right, I'm gonna put that there. I'm gonna put that there. Can't put that. So then I'm gonna put, well, I can't put that either. It would be another one of these type of like a flashlight or something. And I would just continually fill up these spots. Look at, I could put it right here. I could put it right there. I can literally put them all over the gun if I need to save space, and they sit on my gun. Now, is it ideal for the gun you're using? Probably not, depending on what it is, because your flashlights are going to be really bright, or vice versa. Your red dots are just going to be a ton of like IR lasers. But it's possible, especially if you have a secondary gun that you picked up off someone, or if my gun is in stash and I need to just use it to put things on top of. That comes down to the other thing. When you are in raid, all these same rules essentially apply, except for cases, because only certain cases you can keep on you now. But if I keep a rig on me, right? So like if I'm coming in here and I'm going to go ahead and grab this rig, now this rig's in here. Instead of keeping these items in here according to this 30 slot or 40 slot, whatever this backpack is, I'm gonna bring this in here, and now this whole section is double the space, in turn making my backpack bigger. And look at, there's enough room for a second one and a gun. So I can literally have a gun, 2 LBTs in here with double the space on each side, and have a weapon and adding attachments to that weapon. Do you guys kind of see like where I'm going with the flow of this? You constantly find things that you can add parts to, which comes down to similar things like this. So if I have the MPR in my backpack, look at, I could just slap that on top of it, and now I have 2 items in one. Same thing with this. If I pick up random things like this in a stash and you're like, oh, I can't fit that, I have to drop it for something else. Or if you find something like this, you can just slap it right on top. Then there is some black magic happening. This is when you take an item that is a 2 slot and you stick it on an item that is a 1 slot, in turn making the 2 slot item 1 slot. I'm gonna show you guys how this works, and I promise you, you are about to flip out right now. Here we have a regular rail, right? It's a low profile mount. That's it. And then we have the hammer, a 2 slot item. Did you guys just see what happened right there? Now my hammer. So I literally went from 3 slots to 1 slot. And you can do this, and I could probably stick it on here if I had to, if I needed to use a mount for something. So you can totally do things like that. Lastly, for the space hack is the greatest space hack, and it has been shown to me by my boy Tom, and definitely check out his channel at twitch.tv/Bojo, BOJOTOM. He's a great streamer and also plays Tarkov. This is a crazy space hack. We have this, which is a handguard, just regular handguard for the AKS-74U. It is the XRS U4. I'll leave it up for a little bit so you guys can see what it is. But do you guys see what I'm seeing? You have a place, so it's kind of like the AK 100 series that we use in the budget builds for the AK, how it has the 3 slots, but this one has 5, which means you can put 2 scopes on it and 3 attachments, including a foregrip with no rail. So let's see what happens when you can move 5 items onto a 2 slot, right? So we're gonna go like this. Magic. It's magic. It's only a 2 slot item, and you can use it to put a bunch of things on it. But hold on, it gets crazier. Oh my gosh, it's a 1 slot item. Are you kidding me? Just take a look at this real quick. Like, Does this not blow your minds right now? I really hope that posting this video does not make it so we can't do this anymore and this gets fixed, because this is insane. Like, I understand the mechanics. It's taking it down to the minimal piece and it's saying, what does that hold? And then if everything is on that, and that's how a lot of other exploits, which we're not going to talk about in this video, happen. But so if you add that same gas tube, literally just link search this handguard, put on the gas tube, and it makes it a 1-slot item. So now we have 7 items in 1 slot. So if you were to take all of these off and just keep this in your stash when you know that you're going to be looting and running, and you know, especially for PvP, when you're pulling all those parts off of guys' guns, I mean, just the fact that you can put this many in 1 slot is a game changer. So that is the last part, and that's enough magic for 1 video. Okay, so I know that I said that was enough magic for 1 stream, but there's one last thing that I wanted to say, and that is, if you guys insure your items, which you should be doing, because it's a fraction of the cost to get your items back if nobody takes them. If you insure through whoever you insure with, I usually use Proper, but you can actually keep your stuff in his stash for a certain amount of time. So it's 2 days, I believe. And then after that, you have to grab it or they will disappear. But when I go here, these are now items that I don't have to have in my stash, and I can just grab them as I need them. So what I'll do is I'll actually alt click. That way I can grab them and equip if I need those items. But until I need those items, I'll actually just leave them in here, especially if I don't have space. I have space right now, but that's what I wanted to tell you guys. And then the other portion is when you get stuff from the traders from quests, you can actually let them sit here for a good amount of time before they disappear. So there's always that option as well. So whether you're getting like huge cases, huge backpacks, whatever the case is, and you don't have it right away, you don't have to take it right away. Just whenever you're going to use it, come in here, just don't forget about it, and come grab it from one of the traders. And that is the last bit of magic for the video. But if you guys see something in here that you have questions about, feel free to jump into the YouTube comments. I respond to every single one of you. I love talking to you guys down there. And it's also good for other people who might have your same question, which is surprising how many people have the same question. So ask it. We'll talk about it. If there's something you feel like I didn't cover when it comes to the area that I'm talking about, space hacks. If you have a space hack that I didn't talk about, definitely let me know down in the comments. I would love for other people to be able to read that comment, and I would love to talk to you guys about it as well. I'm not saying that this video covered everything, but I really hope that this video did help you guys be able to make some more space in your stash and not feel so overwhelmed. Tarkov can be one of those games that makes you feel really overwhelmed with how much you have and having nowhere to put it. I know how it is, so as I continue to play the game longer, this is one of the videos that I've really wanted to come out with, just to show you guys that it is possible to hoard a little bit if you want to or if you need to. Thank you guys for watching another Tarkov video. If you guys want to watch more Tarkov content, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. I do drop 3 to 5 videos a week, so it'll definitely be worth it. And you can always hit the little bell if you want to be notified when more videos go live. If you guys got some value out of this video, make sure you smash that like button, because it goes a long way for the channel, and I truly appreciate, truly appreciate all the support that I've got so far from you guys. It really does mean a lot. I hope to catch you guys by the stream sometime at twitch.tv/xvlnghost, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday at 6 p.m. PST. Whether you want to chill after work, whether you want to talk about this stuff live, either way, I'm sure we will have a good time. I hope you guys are very blessed. I hope you have an amazing day or night, depending on where you're at in the world. I hope that your stash just opens up and you're able to do full-on exercises inside of it because of how much space you begin to have. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace. Reloading. He's against the wall. I think so. He's in the bushes right here. Oh! Down.